So, in Tower Defense Simulator, there's actually been a shadow change to the Pursuit Tower because, for some reason, the developers have decided to change it. But they don't tell us about it. Maybe because the changes, even though they are, in my opinion, nerfs, they aren't perhaps significant, you may say. And these changes are to survival mode. There's actually also changes to the PvP version of the Pursuit as well. In fact, I'll go over the PvP changes later on in this video. But for now, I'm just talking about the regular old Pursuit in survival and in PvP mode. So, this was a change made in v1.71.0, which is also the same updates which actually changed how the Pursuit can detect enemies. So here, the Pursuit can detect enemies both outside its patrol range and attack range if an enemy is in the area where the Pursuit's attack can reach. So for example, if the Pursuit can attack in this area here, it can, because if the Pursuit were to like move over here, for example, it would be able to detect it. So, I don't know, if I was to spawn in a bunch of egg rolls, the Pursuit moves over here, even though it's out of the range of the attack circle here, the patrol's range, but because its range can extend slightly beyond that, as you can see here, it goes all the way up to here, the Pursuit is able to detect these enemies. However, because of these changes, there have been some changes to the Pursuit. So, at level 0, the Pursuit's range has actually decreased from 8 to 7, which is to me it's to be totally fair, because I mean, even though the attack range of the Pursuit has gotten significantly smaller, I'll not say significantly smaller, it's gotten 12.5% smaller. Do bear in mind that because of the increased, I guess, potential range for where the Pursuit can detect enemies and attack them, meaning that it can actually attack them for slightly longer than it did previously, I think that that's a fair change. Additionally, the speed of the Pursuit has actually changed at base level, but though speed isn't really that much of an issue when it comes to the Pursuit unless it's like a really fast enemy or you need to reposition the Pursuit at a moment's notice in a very large map. The only large map that I can really think of is Moonbase. There are potentially some more larger maps than Moonbase, but Moonbase is the largest map that I can really think of. So if I were to reposition the Pursuit over to here, it actually moves a lot faster now than it did previously. The speed previously was 25 and now its speed is 30. However, what's very interesting is that the Pursuit actually gets slower when you upgrade it, and in fact it doesn't even get any faster when you upgrade it to level 5. The level 0 Pursuit is actually the fastest version of the Pursuits compared to the other Pursuit towers. So if I were to move all the Pursuits over here, right, the level 0 Pursuit should be the fastest, and you saw that the level 0 Pursuit actually kept up with the level 5 Pursuit, even though the level 5 Pursuit was the one that was moved first. This is because from level 1, the speed of the Pursuit is actually 16, and in fact it is 16 for all levels, no matter apart from level 0, where it's 30 for some reason. You can see this here, where the level 0 Pursuit actually got there first, much significantly faster than the level 5 Pursuit. The reason why the level 0 Pursuit is the fastest Pursuit, I have no idea. You would have thought that level 5 Pursuit would have been the fastest, but no, it's the level 0 Pursuit. And they buffed it in this update, but they didn't buff any of the other speeds in this update. That's really weird. Additionally, there's a change in this update to the repulsion radius of the Pursuit. Now, me and Menton have discussed what repulsion could possibly mean. I think it's perhaps something to do with the shooting of the Pursuit or something like that, but he has no idea what repulsion means, like how far away the enemy is or the Pursuit is from the enemy. That's what I think repulsion is, but it's not really clear what it means. So repulsion radius here, it's increased from 3 to 6, but we don't know what repulsion means. If anyone has an idea of what repulsion could possibly mean, feel free to comment below. But then the more important change to the Pursuit, which means it's gotten slightly nerfed, I think, overall, is the fact that at level 3, there is now a missile targeting time of 3, which means that the Pursuit waits for 3 seconds before it shoots out its missiles. The Pursuit's missiles are no longer instantaneous compared to what it was previously. Previously, if an enemy appeared inside of its range, it would then completely just shoot it with its missiles as well as its main attack of its guns. But the Pursuit now will wait 3 seconds, which is kind of slightly a nerf. Because, as you saw here, the Pursuits were only able to really shoot out 1 missile overall, which is quite slow. Previously, you could possibly reasonably fit in about 2 missile shots in there, and if an enemy appears just out of nowhere, really new inside the pursuit's range, the pursuit no longer fires its missiles at it. It's not like it resets the timer if an enemy appears here and then the next enemy appears more than 3 seconds later. No, the pursuit still needs to wait 3 seconds to shoot out its missiles. Additionally, there is a bug where apparently the pursuit struggles to target enemies towards the edge of its range. Not entirely sure how big of an issue it is, because all of my pursuits were able to target enemies at the edge of their range. But that being said, this enemy did take a while for this pursuit to get locked onto it, so who knows. Now, some changes that I forgot to mention for the Archer was the fact that from level 0 to 2, the Archer actually used to shoot its arrows backwards, which has now been fixed. The Archer's arrow effect used to be active all at once for some reason, and that's been fixed. And the Archer not attacking any enemies has also been fixed. Meanwhile, there are a load of changes to PvP mode when it comes to towers. These aren't the survival mode changes, these are only PvP mode. So initially, when it comes to the Warden, its total price has increased from $800 to $1,000, which makes it more in line to the survival mode of this. But its swing rate has also been changed at level 0 and level 1 from 0.6, which it still gets at level 2 and level 3, to 0.65, so it's less effective, which, I mean, I guess it's kind of a nerf to the Warden, given the fact that the Warden Tower was initially one of the good towers to use in PvP mode. I haven't done a complete review of all of the towers in PvP mode. That should be coming soon. I haven't really been bothered by it. But when it comes to the Scout, its level 3 upgrade, its upgrade cost has increased from 1,600 to 1,800. The range has increased from 13 to 12, and that's it. It's only the level 3 Scout that's changed here. Meanwhile, as for the Mercenary base, to place it down, it's been nerfed from $1,000 for the Mercenary base to be placed down, which, you know, it seems quite cheap to place down, to 1,800. The level 0 Grenadier damage, so the Grenadier first appears at, I believe, level 1. Its damage has been nerfed from 35 to 28. At level 3, the level 1 Grenadier, its damage has decreased from 65 to 50. And at level 6, the level 2 Grenadier, its damage has been decreased from 100 to 80. So the Grenadier still has better DPS compared to the Rifleman, but the Grenadier is still a pretty good explosive tower to be used in PvP mode. It's just that it is slightly weaker than it was previously. So I guess in the attritional battles towards the end, the Mercenary base is perhaps not as good as it was previously. Meanwhile, the Ranger has been buffed in PvP mode, because previously the Ranger was like insanely bad to be used in PvP mode. In PvP mode, its base cost has decreased from 3,000 to 2,000. Level 2, its upgrade cost has decreased from 3,250 to 2,400. At level 3, its upgrade cost has decreased from 10,000 to 8,500, and at level 4, its upgrade cost has decreased from 20,000 to 17,000, meaning that in total, to get a level 4 Ranger, it's 30,550. When you compare this to the regular game mode, 24,000, and then what it was previously, which was 36,900, yes, it's a significant decrease to the cost of the Ranger. Not necessarily saying that the Ranger is still good to be used in PvP mode, but it is cheaper to be used. In PvP mode as well, the Brawler has been buffed, so its base fire rate has decreased from 1 to 0.9, so it can swing its hands faster, I guess. Level 1, the fire rate has decreased from 0.75 to 0.6. At level 2, it's the same at 0.6, so they've just made it universal. No changes at level 2, but there are changes at level 0 and level 1 to make it more powerful. At level 4, the upgrade cost has decreased from 6,000 to 5,200, and the reposition damage has increased from 50 to 80. I don't know why they increased the reposition damage, of all things, to increase the reposition damage. I don't know. Is it to make it more... It's not even in line with the regular Brawler. It still does 20 less damage than the regular Brawler. I don't know why. And then at level 5, its reposition damage has increased from 100 to 150, which still isn't in line with the regular Brawler's damage, which was 200. I guess 150, sure, I guess. Now, the big news when it comes up to PvP mode is that the Necromancer has been nerfed. Universally, the Necromancer is seen as one of the best towers to be used in PvP mode, except now it's been nerfed. So at level 0, its base cost has increased from 1,100 to 1,500. At level 1, its upgrade cost has increased from $750 to 1,000. At level 2, 1,750 to 3,500. At level 3, its upgrade cost has increased from 7,500 to 10,000, and level 4, it's increased from 30,000 to 40,000, which I think is like one of the most expensive upgrades or most expensive towers in PvP mode, barring perhaps maybe the turret. But in any case, the Necromancer, there's been relatively few changes when it comes to the units. So the sword skeleton's range has decreased from 8 to 6, which is at level 2, which I don't know why. I don't think many people are using the sword skeleton really for its range, but you know, fair enough. And then at level 3, the skeleton knight's range has also decreased from 8 to 6. I don't know why either. Meanwhile, for the Mortar, this has been a more significant like rework for the Mortar really. So at the base level, level 0, its fire rate has increased from 3.75 to 4, which means that the Mortar shoots a lot more slowly. The explosion radius has also decreased from 6 to 5.5. At level 1, its upgrade cost has actually decreased from 400 to 300, but it doesn't gain any damage. So the damage has been nerfed by 3, and the fire rate has remained the same at this level to 3.25. At level 2, the damage has actually decreased by 3, but that's from the previous level. Its explosion radius has also slightly decreased from 7.5 to 7. Meanwhile, at level 3, the upgrade cost has decreased from 3,000 to 2,500. The damage has decreased from 60 to 50. The fire rate has actually increased as well at this level from 3 to 3.25, and the explosion radius has changed from 8.5 to 8. Meanwhile, at level 4, the cost has increased from 10,000 to 12,000, and the damage has remained the same actually at this level to 100. Meanwhile, at level 5, the upgrade cost has increased from 20,000 to 22,500, and the explosion radius changed from 9 to 8.5. So overall, there's a 0.5 stud decrease overall for the Mortar at all levels. But other than that, it's just like tinkering here and there to make sure the Mortar isn't as like the most powerful go-to explosive tower to be used, I guess, in PvP mode.